Welcome back to Let's Play Higurashi Tsumihoroboshi. Why is the game not up, you may be wondering? Well, because I want to show you just how long it usually takes to load. So, we've been playing 20 hours total here. Actually, that's, Higurashi. 24 hours, yeah, that's I remember, 24 hours. So, with that in mind, we've probably got a bare minimum of 4 hours left of this novel. Last played on Friday, it is now Tuesday, 21st. Days go by fast, man. So let's do this. Tsumihoroboshi, loading up the visual, the sound novel. The blah 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 takes a while. Look at that. Look at it load. One of the most irritating sights, isn't it? Is this little blue circular loading thing. May take several hours, but we'll get there. In the meantime, let's recap it. So previous part, yeah, I haven't uploaded it. I'll be uploading it today. But yeah, that was something, wasn't it? Keiichi being able to remember events from Onikakushi, which was quite something, and very emotional, and quite nice, albeit a bit confusing. I said, let us continue with Ooishi of all characters. So, Ooishi, what have you got for us? I'll take you to the room. Please follow me. There was a sign saying reserved at the entrance. Ooishi and his subordinates were taken inside. They walked through the restaurant's pretentious landscape garden and they came to the gorgeous Japanese-style entrance. Oh! A woman in a kimono was waiting at the entrance, as was Kasai. Upon seeing the police officers, they stopped chatting and bowed deeply. The woman in the kimono was Mion's mother, Akane. I don't know. I remember at one point in the series they said something about the head of the Sonozaki family having the character of a demon in the name, but I'm not sure about Akane because she isn't actually the heir to the Sonozaki family, because her mother, who is the current, leader of the Sonozaki family, disapproved of her marriage or something and was like, fuck you! And yeah, they don't actually hate each other though. Yeah, that might be it right there. Maybe? I don't know. Could it? I can't remember if I'm remembering it right for the character of a demon being a bit of a waffle with a tree next to it. Well, they definitely didn't have a tree next to it. I see this kanji character a lot. It looks like a freaking TNT detonator or some shit. Look at that! It looks like a freaking number hashtag in a box. And that looks like a robot. That's his head, that's his body. It's weird how kanji character can actually look kind of like things, which I suppose is kind of the point, but some of them are kind of a stretch. Does she actually have any other emotions on her portrait though, is the question. We saw her once in Higurashi, I think. And that was about it, really, wasn't it? I don't think we've seen her appear on screen at all. Actually, come to think of it, she was definitely wearing different clothes. She wasn't wearing this kimono last time. I don't know, it was a long time ago now. but yeah. Nice to meet you, Miss Sonozaki. Thank you for having us today. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming all the way here, despite your busy schedule. That's totally not how she would sound. I don't know, I've been looking forward to the feast I'm going to have today. Kiyomizu Te is famous for its dried bean curd rice. I can't wait. Kasai's like, I don't like this man. Long time no see, Kasai-san. It's been forever since we last met in person. Yes, it has been a while. And stuff. Well, we seem to be at war, but I'm hoping we can settle this like adults. Although we're ready for an all-out war whenever you are. No, we have no desire to fight. Neither do we. Everybody knows how messy things get when you get involved. But I'd like to avoid things as much as possible since I'm not that young anymore. Obviously this is a meeting between people who hated each other. With tension in their words indicated that it wasn't likely to be a friendly meeting. I'll take you to the room. Please follow me. I feel bad that our host's taking us to the table. Well, I know we sent you the invitation under my name, but actually today's host is the Sonozaki main family. I'm sorry for the confusion. I see. Can I go back and get my bulletproof jackets? On the other side of the door there were several tables, and Mion was sitting at one of them. Since Mion was still young, her school uniform functioned as her formal dress. You could just... I mean, you've got plenty... She got, like, loads of costumes and all that. Surely one of them's gotta be, like, a bit more formal looking, you know? Just like, nope, just go with that. Or maybe it's just because it's like, no, we do not want to freaking have to, you know, make another portrait for Mion simply because she's got new clothes. I mean, we already got her school uniform and her... actually, does she have any other clothes? Like, there was that time when she was, like, dressed in the kind of... I don't even know what the fuck it was. It was like a mix of a gym uniform, regular school uniform, and a freaking cattail and shit. It was... and a bell, I think. And the punishment that they had earlier on in this arc. It's weird, isn't it? It's like, I'm not sure. I think, yeah, she does actually. She does have a casual wear. She has that yellow kind of shirt as well. So she has at least 3, including her regular gym uniform as well. She only has like 3 to 4 different kind of outfits in this arc. And you know, that kind of blows my mind, you know. It's like you got those really happy kind of like carefree fun moments at the start of each arc where like the club's just enjoying their time together, playing their games and all that. I feel like there's like spin-off arcs that are more focused on that, and I don't feel they kind of work. The ones I've seen anyway. I've only seen like anime adaptations, and it feels kind of a bit too over the top, even by Higurashi standards. I think like how they work so well is because they're in contrast with how dark the plot gets. It's like a nice balance between the two in the main series, you know? While if you just focused entirely on one without the other, it wouldn't kind of be the same. It would kind of be a bit lacking. Anyways, rambling. Still, it looks strange with both the police and the corps members in black suits. Hello, you must be the successor to the head of the Sonozaki family. Thank you for having us today. Oh, thank you very much for coming. Please take a seat. It's like Mion has a very different kind of aura to her when she's, you know, takes on the role as the successor. Mion politely welcomed the police, undaunted even though they were older than her parents. Mion gave Kasai a look and he tapped on the door. The waitresses who had been waiting behind the door started bringing out drinks. Ooh, fancy. Ooishi-san, what's going on here? I'm not sure. Well, let's enjoy the meal first. The dried bean curd is really famous, you know. I started drinking, but the tension continued for a while. You can't eat well when it's like a lot of tension, man. Mion made the waitresses and the other members of the Sonozaki cohorts leave the room, and soon only Ooishi and his subordinates, Mion, Akane, and Kasai, were left in the room. What, so not... Are even Oreos here? Okay, just needed to know who's speaking first. Well, let's start talking about why we're here today, and not have you appear on screen. Akane nodded and began speaking. Oh wait, no. Maybe that was Ooishi. Well, let's start by talking about why we're here today. We're having this meeting today so we can resolve our misunderstandings. Finally! Such as... Kasai wanted to talk to you about Rena for personal reasons. Therefore, this meeting is about the private circumstances between Tatsuyoshi Kasai and Rena. The Sonozaki family has nothing to do with this. So that's why Kasai is here, I guess. What are these private circumstances? Ryuga-san lives an honest life. How can she have any kind of private connection with Kasai-san from the Yakuza? Kasai. Yes, allow me to explain. Kasai told the police officers that he happened to meet Rena at a coffee house in Okinawa. He explained that Rena found something he lost there and that she offered to bring it back to him. That doesn't sound right, but for argument's sake, why don't we assume what you're telling us is true? What happened after that doesn't make any sense. Heard that you told your members to find Rena. That's actually my fault. Rena-san's father was worried about her because she didn't come home after dark. So I sent my men to ask if someone had seen her downtown, but I made a small mistake. Wait a second. You made us come all the way here, and now you're telling us to believe this bullshit? Could it be that you're making fun of us? Actually, I looked a lot more like a member of the Yakuza than the real Yakuza did. Ooishi threatened them with a nasty smile, and it piled all the more tension onto the atmosphere in the room. Ooishi-san, please don't. Kill the guy, trying to make him stand down. He's just like, it's such a shame I don't have a portrait because I'm just a minor character in all this. He does kind of play a role, more important role, every once in a while, but it's very rare and it's very fleeting. Officers with hot tempers pair with others who are good at calming them down, just like how Yakuza do. Ooishi backed off with a grin. Kumagai took over, continuing from there. So, what are you trying to say? Do you not want us to intervene because this is a civil matter between Rena and Tatsuyoshi Kasai? That's not going to happen. We're going to give her protection. Mion opened her mouth for the first time in a while. Oh, you need to explain to me why the police have to protect Rena to begin with. Why? Because you guys are after her. Why? Because you guys are after her. She's like, she answered bluntly. But Mion remained nonchalant. That must have made him all the more annoyed. What makes you think we're after her? Why didn't you ask what's in your chest? You might know something. Ooishi-san, we're here to resolve our misunderstandings. It's your choice not to listen to us, but I think it's better that you do. Well, what are we misunderstanding exactly? Misunderstanding concerns the scrapbooks of Takano and Rena is in possession of. The officer's expression grew stern all at once. All of a sudden, she had gotten straight to the point. You want to protect Rena because she has the scrapbooks, isn't that right? Ooishi and his subordinates glared back at her without saying a word, making it obvious that her guess was right. Kasai. Akane gave him a look and he left the room. However, he shortly returned, carrying a black suitcase. Every one of the officers assumed that there was a tremendous amount of money in the suitcase and that the Sonozaki family was trying to buy them off. Kasai opened the suitcase and showed the contents to the police. So, are these... These are Takano's scrapbooks. I'm afraid we don't have the ones she gave to Rena. This is going to be our main course for today. Do you mind if I take a look? Okay, so these are the other notebooks that Rena hadn't actually got. No, feel free. We can talk after you read them. I'll make my people leave if you like. Oh no, you don't have to do that. You have to produce latex gloves from their pockets, put them on, and put the scrapbooks out of the suitcase. There were more than 10 of them in there. We found them in Takano's house in Okami after she passed away. Ooishi and the others desperately turned the pages of the well-thumbed scrapbooks. Are you sure these are real? Without a doubt. Ooishi-san, if Rena has the other scrapbooks, that means... maybe the one she has the same kind of stuff in them. Ooishi looked stunned by the contents of the scrapbooks. He started turning the pages faster, then closed the scrapbook roughly. All of these have the same kind of contents as this one. Yes, they do. Feel free to take the time to look at them until you're fully satisfied. The other officers also rapidly turned through pages. They weren't reading them, just flipping through. They took one scrapbook from a suitcase after another and flipped through the pages roughly. Ooishi-san, this is absurd. These are just crappy occult novels. This one says that the netherworld collided with the world and that the dead souls flowed across the gap. How are we going to use this as proof? Well, yours says something about the netherworld. Mine is about creatures from the bottom of the ocean. This one is about classified weapons of the Nazis. This one is about the legacy of the Mu continent. That one is about Ooishi, the mysterious creature in Onagafuchi swamp. You know, it'd be interesting to actually see either of those, wouldn't it? It's like, oh, why not just like have like a spin-off where it's just like Takano's absurd kind of story theories, occult novel things. That'd be interesting. We can surmise that Rena most likely has the scrapbook about the parasite theory we've all heard of. The police were dumbfounded. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. The other officers were shooting glances at Ooishi. It's just like, I feel like of all the ones that Rena could have get, what the parasite one seems, you know, the closest to a possible one, really. The more of them in collection, the more it's just like, okay, now everything just sounds like bullshit. But you can see how Rena fell for some of it. The aliens bit, though, that one's a huge stretch. The other officers were shooting glances at Ooishi. They hadn't said anything to him, but they never really believed in the story of the parasite, let alone the bioterrorism. Ooishi had believed it and told them he had proof. Well, doesn't he feel like an idiot now? None of the scrapbooks in front of them said anything about parasites, but it was easier to assume the contents of one scrapbook were no different in nature from another. In other words, all of them were just crappy occult novels. Well, Ooishi appeared unable to accept the facts that was facing him. But now that he was actually looking at it, it was too difficult to ignore. Mion Takano was an occult freak and had laughable ideas about the legend of Onagafuchi. But Rena took them seriously, and so had Ooishi. The other officers could no longer stop themselves from laughing at the ridiculous scrapbooks. Ooishi glared at them and they stopped laughing. The main reason Ooishi took the story of the parasites seriously was because the Sonozaki family was apparently after Rena for the scrapbooks she had. Plus, Takano, the owner of the scrapbooks, was killed. Because of those two reasons, he believed in that occult B-novel. Well, you can see how he'd be fooled by that, because there is a lot of, you know, coincidences that kind of link things together in place. That make it just, like, seem more plausible. Which was frustrated without a doubt. He has to accept that he was wrong. She was eager for any information that could help him solve the series of mysterious deaths of enemies now before he retired. A combination of a number of factors made Takano's ridiculous theory become highly credible to him. Yeah, I suppose that also doesn't help, because he wants to get to the bottom of this case, so he'd latch onto anything there. Let me ask you something. Why was Takano killed? We have no idea what happened to Takano and Jiro Tomitake. Of course you don't. A liar doesn't call himself a liar. Come on, Ooishi-san. Do you think we do such a lousy job as to let the police find the bodies? Mion wore a cold smile. She had said too much. Akane cleared her throat as if to condemn the statement, and that made Mion shut her mouth. Ooishi glared at the young successor, but he knew she was right. Then why are you after Rena Ryugu? We're not. I admit it's our fault that we made it look like we're after her. For that we apologize. The reasons which made Ooishi take Rena's delusions seriously collapsed one by one. Mion and Akane looked at each other. They must have decided to let Akane speak. She did so firmly. We'd like to ask you a favor. We don't want to be involved with the police because of nonsense like this. We heard that Sankai from the police headquarters started work with the public safety division. They're going to do simultaneous raids on our family using this case as their excuse, aren't they? That being at Ooishi's request, Ooishi took Rena's story seriously, and he wanted to find the research facility that was developing the parasite, who was intending to use it as proof of the potential bioterrorist attack. But as he had no idea where to start looking, he tried to conduct simultaneous raids on all the facilities Sonozaki family owned in the entire prefecture, in cooperation with the task force for gang groups and public safety. Normally, the circumstantial evidence he had wouldn't be enough to get their cooperation. In fact, public safety doubted Ooishi's source because they hadn't heard of any potential terrorist attacks. They trusted their information network. But Ooishi took advantage of his long career and his old friends, and he managed to get them to cooperate. Ooishi's face broke out in a nervous sweat. Needless to say, he realized he was completely wrong. We caused you some trouble during the dam conflict, but the era is reaching its end, and things have changed. Ryuk's a group that sides with the weak and crushes the strong, but we're also trying to achieve peace and stability, in line with these changing times. If we get raided now, we're going to lose face. Who cares about your face? I know we'll find something with those raids. We're going to go through with them. If you find something, good for you. But if you don't, you know it'll cause a big liability issue that even you won't escape lightly, Ooishi-san. She's got a good poker face because she has no change in her facial expression. Alright, it sounds like you really do want an all-out war. Huh? If that's what you want, please carry out your job to your own satisfaction. We'll take on the challenge any time. What? Akane Sonozaki didn't betray Ooishi's expectations. Though her right to become the successor was taken away, Akane had been through a lot more than Mion. Ooishi couldn't back out now, but he knew it was a fight he probably couldn't win. Kumagai butted in and tried to calm him down. If we put a stop to the raids, what would we get in return? Mion answered this time. We'll give you these scrapbooks as proof of our friendship. I'm sure you can use them to cancel the raid attempts. These scrapbooks proved how ridiculous Takano's theory was. Takano was dead anyway. Ooishi could show people these scrapbooks and say he was fooled. He could still pretend the whole raid thing never happened. He might have to take responsibility for it, but if he didn't back off now, there'd be no doubt that he'd face a hopeless mess. If he was going to back off, it was now or never. The administrative staff at his station weren't exactly fond of him. If he made such a huge mistake right before his retirement, people who'd been looking for a chance for revenge would cut his pension with glee. His pension was decided by multiplying his base salary by a certain number. If they cut his base salary, there was no way he could avoid a big reduction. Ooishi-san, he decided to back off. It was hard for him to admit mistakes at his age. He grimaced with anger. Uma-chan, can you take over from here? I think I had too much to drink. I'm going to get some fresh air on the porch. Excuse me. What that actually means is he's gonna be like, oh, fucking goddammit! Smoke a cigarette. Calm down. Fucking bullshit, I was fooled, goddammit! But she stood up quickly and left the room, making a lot of noise as he walked. He's pissed. And not because of the alcohol, he's legitimately angry. Kasai closed the door, Ooishi left open, the room was filled with silence again. At that point, Kumagai opened his mouth. We understand your point. Our intention isn't to cause trouble to all the organizations you own. So, I want to confirm that the police and the Sonozaki family will help each other to maintain the peace of the city. Therefore, we're going to put off doing the simultaneous raids.
Thank you very much. I'm sure our leader Oreo appreciates your concerns as well.
As you promised, we'll take the scrapbooks, and there are 2 more conditions.
Go ahead.
First, if you find the other missing scrapbooks, you must bring them to us immediately. Second, if you find Rena, you must turn her over to us immediately as well.
I'm afraid the second one is unacceptable. Rena is in a state of delusion. We'll make sure of her safety and we'll find the best medical facility we can take her to. She has the right to receive treatment.
We can't accept that either. We have the right to question her about the murder of Takano, as a material witness, not a suspect.
Well, I don't think that would help with her delusions, so I'm kind of with Mion on this one. I can see why they'd want to question Rena, because her delusions caused all this mess to spiral out for everyone. But still, I go with Mion on this one. Akane whispered to Mion. Mion in turn nodded and began to speak. Very well. We'll accept the second condition. But let us add another condition on top of that. We're going to send her a lawyer. We will only question her in the lawyer's presence.
Understood. One more thing. You aren't allowed to delay us by not sending the lawyer on purpose. We'll start questioning right after we find her.
We have no problem with that. But you must contact us immediately after she's found.
We will as soon as we can. Akane got in.
You have to call us before you question her. You must call us the very moment she's found. This agreement is made in good faith, founded on our mutual trust. So please do be careful not to do anything that might waste it.
Understood. You have my word on that. We'll try to keep our promise with the best of intentions.
Akane and Kumagai glared at each other for a moment. Surprisingly, Kumagai was very calm. He was always in the shadow of Ooishi, who was loud and noisy, but he had as much guts as his superior did. Ooishi was good at taking care of matters in a rough and threatening kind of way, but Kumagai was good at negotiations like this.
He's more calm, collected, but he can handle his own.
The meeting ended and the police stood up from their seats. The tension in the room had finally ceased. Kasai put the scrapbooks back in the suitcase and handed it to Kumagai. Kumagai looked at Kasai, nodded lightly and took what was offered him. I wonder what his name actually looks like in kanji. If I could even recognize it. Now, I come to think about it, Kumagai, right? Kumagai. I know Kuma means freaking bear. So, we haven't even had a word of the day yet. Let's see. It's like, we won't have bears the word of the day because I didn't get it from the dictionary because I actually know that one. But let's look for bear first just to see what the kanji character is. So I can like see if he's got that for his name. Bear Kuma. I think it. It's bloody dark nowadays. Doesn't help that I had the freaking curtains closed. Let's see, yeah, he does. Right there. That's a kanji character of a bear. Kuma. Guy. So, yeah. Neat. That is a bit of an odd-looking kanji character, isn't it? I wonder what his name actually means, though. It's like I was thinking of Takano's first name, Mio, which uses the kanji for 3 and 4. It's like you got multiple ways of saying things like that. Like a kanji character would have like different pronunciations. Like me is a way of saying 3, but I usually kind of see it like, you know, san for free, but they are always saying free, same as it is for four. It's like it's me, yo being four, but if you're counting, it'd be like yon, but it could also be yo, but it could also be a few other kind of ones. It's really confusing. But yeah, she's got the conjugate of a 3 and 4, but it makes me wonder, how does that establish a meaning in a name? It's like, okay, 3 and 4, but what does it actually add up to? 34? 3-4? It's like, what does her name actually mean? Because it's just 2 numbers. Just like Keiichi's got a number in his name. He's got Keiichi. Ichi being 1, and K being something else. It's actually, for the word of the day, let's actually have a potential word that starts with K. If there is one. Let me just confirm here, because I forget. I think it was, yeah, that's the one. Okay, let's look for a K, okay. Oh yeah, this one could suit the theme of this. Keiichi or Keiichi, police officer. There's quite a few words that start with K, but a lot of them have different kanji characters, and I don't know which one actually. Could it be? I don't really recognize any of these kanji characters here as being the one that Keiichi had in his name. Oh, here's a bonus one. Keiichi, detective. I don't see it, no. Yeah, I don't see his name there. Well, the kanji character in his name. Anyways, let's get back to the plot. Let's, did I read that? Kumagai looked at Kasai nodded lightly and took what was offered him. It's a very expensive case made in Italy. Please take it as a souvenir from us. No, we're only supposed to take the scrapbooks. We'll return it to your office later. Thank you for your time. Please give my regards to the family head Oryu-san. The officers left after bound to Mion. After making sure that the police had left the hallway, Mion sighed heavily and finally let go of her tension. She spread her feet on the floor, flapping the rim of her skirt. It's like so different compared to it. It's like, okay, serious now. After that, it's like, whew, now it could just be casual and not give a fuck. Oh man, my shoulders hurt. Why didn't you take care of this, Mom? Don't be silly, your rank is higher than mine. Rank is everything, not age. Hey, Kasai, have the waitress bring me a beer. Oh, and can you let the grunts in and give them something cold to drink too? You want me to bring only beer? Oh, she can't drink. Bring some orange juice for her. Don't treat me like I'm a little kid. Guess my rank doesn't matter to you, huh? You'll always be a big baby to me. Anyway, your father pulled many strings for you this time. You should thank him. And you too, Kasai. You have to play it smarter when meeting with a common man. I'm a little embarrassed. By the way, I'm very impressed with Rena-san for making a fool of Ooishi. Ren-chan, I mean. You have many friends with good potential. I'd like to meet her. We can go see her play together or something. Kasai, whenever you see her next time, let her know I said that. And don't tell her any more creepy stories, alright? Of course, I'm well aware of that. Well, he only told her about, like, Rena and all that because she was persistent in wanting to, you know. That was ages ago now, wasn't it? But yeah, that's what got Kasai into this mess. That and, you know, Rena pretending that she'd found something that belonged to him as an excuse to meet him again, so she could get his help with that, but because she didn't end up doing that, she ended up killing Rena and Tepe, and yeah, that was what started all this mess, really, wasn't it? With that, they successfully dispelled the magical power of Takano's scrapbooks. It also makes me wonder, though, because this scrapbooks now drove her over the edge. It's like, would she still have gone over the edge even without Rena and Tepe and all that? Because maybe that's made it more so that she would be more convinced by this crazy conspiracy. Like, if she hadn't gone through that, maybe she wouldn't be as convinced by it. Because the whole arc, Rena's had a kind of melancholic kind of vibe going on. It's obviously because of Rena. Because, I don't know, I feel like she probably is more carefree than that, usually. But because Rena was in the picture, she kind of had that feeling of, you know. That to say, successfully dispelled the magical power of Takano's scrapbooks. The whole mess shouldn't grow any larger. The only remaining problem was Rena. Where could she be hiding? Perhaps in the moon? Who knows?